Good morning, how you doing? It is a brand new day, and yesterday I went to sleep after finally getting this part of the code to work properly. When you sprint, it uses up stamina, right? Alright, everybody knows that. You hold the spacebar, sprint, stamina. Okay, cool. But I want to make it so that when you run up the staircase, you can't run up the staircase. So, stamina will not be allowed to drain, and you will not be allowed to sprint up the staircase. Still working out some other problems. Hang on a second. Let's see what I left for myself as a note yesterday. INIT and CAM do not have redundant code. That's my mental notes to myself. And I started work on getting the keys and doors to work, but I figured that it'd be easier to make the keys work as intended if I created some kind of menu. So the idea is that your character, when he presses the start button, it brings this up. It's supposed to represent a certain style of gameplay from back in the olden days, where people would be like, Goblin needs bread, Yorkshire town, east. Like, you would basically be writing down this information so you didn't forget it. And in my game, you are on a stranded island, and there's like no contact from the outside whatsoever. So the idea is that you press the pause button, like it goes like press pause, like that. And I know that's really super goofy explaining it like that, but I'm working on it, okay? This is very complicated shit, and frankly speaking, most of the time after I'm done getting it done, I have to look it over to make sure I didn't fuck anything up. It is a very hard thing to do. But like, it's fun to visualize it like this. It's very stressful too, because you never know when one mistake will end up cascading into a cavalcade of mistakes. Like, here's a really stupid one for you. A really stupid mistake that you can make. So, let's go to objects, and let's go to game INI, and let's just look at this as an example. Alright, so, this right in here, this needs to be at the top, because if it's at the top, then it runs first. And the way that things are set up, you have to make sure this is for the camera, like, this is what it's telling the resolution to be. Design resolution, pixel perfect base. I might have to increase that because I don't know what's going on. There's like some weird wibbly wobbly glitchy shit going on with the textures. Unfortunately, it's all of the stuff that we're using to make art in Game Maker is a texture. I think. Or was I hearing that wrong from that one guy? I was watching a video, and he's like designing a game with like a blue-haired sword-wielding girl with a red scarf, and he's telling me about rotating textures and shit. Anyway, so like this right here scales it to the width and height of your current display monitor. So this right here pulls that information. So maybe what's going on is maybe I should like switch these around. See, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, you gotta be careful where you put things. So when I go over to my player, or I'm in my INIT file, the INIT file is going to be handling everything HUD related. So I created this style of blocking things off, so I don't have to stress about finding where everything is. So now I go like that, and it creates this enormous blotch of just this. It's a texture. It's not a texture. It's a it's a font. You look it up online, and you just hit Control Copy, Control V, V. See, I don't want it to extend outward like that. So now I need to go Z, and we need to just copy this like this. Copy, and then over one, and then back. No, damn it. Over fucking one, thank you. Disable it so it doesn't think it's a stupid ass code. Go way the fuck over here. Okay, go that, and there. Now I have like this huge visual thing that prevents me from fucking around with this code. Like, it's very important that like I segregate my thoughts, because like my god. I got distracted. I wanted it to look as pleasant as humanly possible. So, yeah. I added a background to it, and for some reason, it's looking hella blurry. Like, it's not supposed to be this blurry, but, at least the game, like, at least it has art now. Like, we can't get to the other area because, you know, I haven't programmed the keys and the pause menu and stuff, and quite me if you think that's whatever. But yeah, the character has a playing field that actually looks like something now, so that's nice. Yeah, imported some of the sprites I made for the previous version before the update happened, and I might have to redraw almost all of them because there's some weirdness going on. Let's see, zoom out. There is a weird pixel grid for all of the shaded elements. I don't like that me transferring my files over to the Google Drive did that, but at the same time, it kind of reminds me of newspaper print. So I kind of like it a little. I'll see how it looks in-game. Here is some remnant code from my previous version that I wrote down. It is in basic terms. I'm going to try to hold the camera and mouse button this for you. So right here, it checks to see if the key is being pressed left. If it is being pressed left, then it's going to grab the image that I tell it to, which is my player walking left, and it's going to set the speed at 1.2. So this part right here, I don't know how to exactly explain, but I'm going to go right over here. There's 1, and then there's 2. But then in between 1 and 2 is like 1, and then 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is it's like saying if 1.5 is half of like the in-between of 1 and 2, then what's going to end up happening is it's going to do the speed at that rate. So because 2 was too fast and 1 isn't fast enough, I tested each one out to see if it would be good to have it at 1.1, 1.3, 1.4, and 5, 4, 5, 6 too fast, 1.1 too slow, almost not changed at all, 1.2 changed just enough. And this code is basically me telling it when I press a button, I want you to have an animation play. And this is that animation. I might have to do some... I hate the fact that I might actually have to redraw this character again, because, like, it looks fine, it's just that he's too damn small. He's currently at a 32 by 32, and, like, if I made the rest of the world match him, then we would be losing out on my hand-drawn details, and I'm not a big fan of that. Funny thing is that the compression of Google Drive actually removed a lot of my detail. One other thing that I find interesting is if I actually go in here and zoom just a smidge. Oh, damn it, I wish it had operations like Photoshop. Like, he looks fine, but that's what he ends up looking like. And, that's not good. Like, you baby boy. He's supposed to be, like, in the world of my game, he's supposed to be, like, this block that he's standing on, plus this block, at least. Like, he's supposed to be able to fit within the door frame here. And I can go in manually and tell the game to zoom him or resize him, but then that would, like, cause a bunch of collision problems. So I'm just going to bite the fudging bullet, and, I'm gonna redraw him. Another thing that might be lucky, might not be lucky, Joseph's folder, my games, Escape the Island, old sprites, here we go, hand-drawn J-Man. We still have the original version of him. Like, this is the hand-drawn art before I pixelated it, and we have it all. I'm just a little bit irritated that I'm going to have to redraw him again. Like, every time I redraw him, he gets better. So it's not a big freaking deal, but it is a big deal. And it's just one of those things where it just constantly like, oh, you're progressing. No, you're not. Oh, you're progressing. No, you're not. Oh, you're progressing. Fuck you. Ran into a stand. I was able to figure some things out with the previously mentioned graphical problems, and I might not need to redraw the whole entire sprite, just need to get the raw information, probably have to split the frames myself in order to get the animation proper. Anyway, so I was able to keep the terrain better. Resizing the canvas was what ended up making the situation work. There's some problems still going on. I haven't even been able to touch the, I originally set out today to make a pause menu, but yeah, I kind of threw that over there. So, what's my current problem right now? Well, first of all, he's running a little bit too fast. Like, the way he walks, he's busting ass. Like, running looks like Sonic the frickin' Hedgehog, and walking looks like Mario on World-11 whatever. So I need to fix his running, make sure that's running properly, and a new glitch has emerged. How wonderful. And now I need to figure this out, which I have an idea. So, right there, did you see how I was able to clip into the wall? And now when I press up, it won't go anywhere. Press down, it won't go anywhere. But if I press this way, he goes somewhere. I can do this, and then, oh, we're stuck in the wall again. So what's happening? Because the collision data is being handled by the player themselves, the player object, because the collision data is being handled there, it's causing some weird issues because it's calculating collision information with the animations. Like, if I wanted to, I probably could, if like given enough time, I could probably just like wiggle my ass through this fucking wall. I'm stuck. Yeah, I'm free! Yeah, so the problem is that, the way GameMaker handles collisions is kind of weird. Let me just zoom out a bit. Let's see, let's go into same as sprite, and if we look at the sprite, I set the collision here. And so now I'm going to just say automatic, and see what happens. It's going to be a similar problem. He gets close, and then it's not as bad, but, like, it's definitely I think it has something to do with the sprites changing origin points, which I could manually fix myself. But I'm going to do it a different way. A long while ago, there was a game that was being talked about by a lot of people, and one of the people was the designer themselves, speaking about how they're working on the game, and I don't know where those videos are anymore, but one of the things that he spoke about when making his indie game Celeste is that because of how many different animations there are for Celeste, the player character, like, look at that crazy ass animation right there. Like, let's just have a look. Like, look at all that crazy ass animation. So he wanted the character to be very visually appealing, have lots of really cool animations, and he wanted to make the collision information work without being hindered by it. So how do you go about doing something like that? Well, let's just make this guy right here is going to be the player, and he is an object, an OBJ. He is an object. He handles some of the stuff that the player has to worry about. But there's an entire different thing, an entire different object. This is the collision for the player, which is what handles other things, like walking on terrain, going up against walls, checking to see if you can interact with certain things and how fast it's going to be. The separation of code would also probably benefit in the long run, because right now the player's code is fucking retarded long. Let me just show you. The player's code is stupid long. And finding anything in that information is a pain in the ass. So one of the things that I do when I make games is I refer to an old system of saving that Sierra made me think to do, is every single time you do something meaningful, save it with a new name. So right here we have day 2, which is today, and then day 2 collision fix. And that's what we're working on right now. I started this day out wanting to make a pause menu that would help me do things in the background, and That's game design for you with ADHD.